So he is. It will be a good thing for Spells to scale up and be a lot more competitive in the later stages of the game.
And they're also targeting. Fennel is also targeting the junglers of CF17. They're taking away the Lee Sin and the Vi, which brings
Shen
me to
is
the
open though.
Yeah, true, but it's not the same early game champion that can go toe-to-toe against the Kha'Zix. Now, this is the curveball by Fennel. They're bringing out the boss as their support, which is something very surprising, right? I know and I understand there's heavy targeting on towards Horizon. Nautilus and Galio was banned away, and so they are defaulting back to the set. So, curious to see as to how he will be performing on this unorthodox support champion.
Interesting, because there are still supports that are meta and still available. For example, Alistar, Sona, even if you wanted to go that route. We were talking quite a lot about Sona earlier on in the day, and to see her not come out yet is a tiny bit of a surprise. But these teams really do like that engaged support a lot more. But I did say Shen was still open, and Shen will be the pick here for CF17. Really wants to keep that utility and global ganking power available for his team.
And Danny will be defaulting back to a skill shot champion in the Ezreal. I've scouted this guy for like 2 consecutive years now, and I really think that Danny is at his best when playing the Corki or the Ezreal. 2 of the champions that I feel you need to have godly accuracy when it comes to skill shots, so that's something that he has. And as the Ezreal, it's not going to be easy to really dominate the lane here in the bottom lane. You do have the Arcade Shift. I heard you discussing this with Infinity yesterday, that Ezreal is one of the best picks possible in the bottom lane when facing against aggressive laners such as the Lucian.
Yeah, that is a very safe champion to pick up, especially when you're having a little bit of difficulty competing against that kind of more aggressive playstyle. So, not only that, you can also shift that Ezreal into a little bit more of an aggressive early game if you kind of want to with the set. So that can be a route for Danny to take if he wants to compete against X1. They will try to... I feel like they want to be a little bit more aggressive in that early game from level 2 to 3 once those 2 or 3 skills are unlocked here in the bot lane.
It's been so long since I've seen the boss in the bottom lane that I feel, I've lost track as to who should win this bottom lane when it comes to, dueling potential. We know for a fact that Ezreal's numbers is one of the best right now, especially with the buffs that he received. And by the way, this is a very cheeky start coming in from J Team, but Spells will be able to at least, give his team very good information. CF17 will be spotting this ward, but can't do a thing as the sweeper lenses will be expiring. So that's definitely going to be a positive towards the side of Fennel.
Oh yeah, Fennel really needs a little bit of information. They need every advantage they can get, and if they can find out how the jungle route is going to go, especially before the level 5. And DY, what is that? 27 seconds of crowd control on that Rakan. He was just I get that. I understand that, because he was just, whenever he got back into the fight, boom, grand entrance, boom, quickness, every single time, just pulling the trigger again and again.
But shouldn't the stat be, featuring Fennel's members? Wait.
Well, maybe because he did the most crowd control, but Danny, he's all just going to miss that last auto attack. We'll get exhausted and we'll get first blooded by X1. He tried to greed for DY, but the honey fruit was just there, coming in clutch to keep DY out of danger.
Yeah, this is the level 2. By the way, Horizon doing a very good job in getting all potential damage, but that last second exhaust on towards Danny was pretty much what was needed by DY to survive that last auto attack coming in from the Ezreal. And this is going to be massive, because we talked about X1 and his rich history of winning the lane here in the bottom lane. You gift him this advantage at the first few minutes of the game, and he does have all the skills needed to snowball it out of control. SZY, by the way, is also winning the top side as expected against Spells on the Aatrox.
Yup. And as expected, DY actually going to go for a little bit of a visit here to make sure that his mid laner is a little bit more safe. But Spelt's trying to chase down SZY there, not going to really amount to all too much, but it does look like DY trying to set up for a dive here, and it will be successful as Speltz gets taken out. Unfortunately, the kill will be going to DY, but that's still a kill for J-Team.
Chaz is also trying to do the same thing on the other side of the map, and I believe they will be successful in doing so. X1 though does have flash, I believe.
Yep, and they will still just be left on it there, even with the Stand United. There's too much burst coming in, and that it's actually Arisen who gets that with the Haymaker, and that is just another kill. Unfortunately, DY was not there to keep his buddy safe.
Wait, I don't think he has enough damage, right? He is technically, quote-unquote, still a support, right?
He's a support. He's 100% a support. So...
Oh man, but yeah, that also throws off the tempo of Danny. So all things considered, it still is a positive play for DY. And one thing that you expect from the veterans is even with that play, they were able to get all those small advantages, which is basically a key to success for them over and over again. Now finally, Danny shows himself up here in the mid lane, and yeah, you can see the pressure being being put on Danny because he was level 4 at that point. At least some way at some point Fennel was able to alleviate some of that. Here in the bottom lane, care of Chaz visiting.
Yeah, at least a little bit of alleviation there, because they do need to kind of give a little bit more, but Helios is just going to get dove on, taunted by CF17 for the kill. Arisen not really able to CC anything, but on the other side, the same thing is happening, but on the other side, SZY, he actually manages to get the kill, and another kill by Soldier onto Chaz, and now Daddy's trapped behind enemy lines. 3 kills, 4 kills across the board for J-Team. Things have just fallen apart for Fennel.
A Godzilla moment coming in from the Renekton, and that was big. That basically may have decided the early stages of this game. Turning a disaster onto a very big positive point for J-Team. That was a 3-man dive, by the way, that they did. Chaz, Speltz, and Danny not hitting all those skill shots that they needed. And again, that last second call to meet by SZY coming in clutch. And of course, give credit where it's due. Soldier, once again, first to rotate and is able to help his team when it comes to his rotation. Similar to what he's been doing in game number 2.
Exactly. It just has been Soldier being a little bit more proactive, a little bit faster on these rotates than Helios consistently. But now that the Drake is up, it will be contested here. They're kind of hesitant to pull the trigger, or who's going to go in first, as Arisen goes for the showstopper. The face break of the Haymaker, everything is coming up as Helios comes in. He grabs 1 kill. Arisen is going to get finished off there, at least by Soldier, but now Soldier, he's gonna get Sand United as Sanguine Pool saves his life, but Helios does give his life up for that. Chaz was not able to get in that fight almost at all, but now the Speltz is here. This is going to be a 3 versus 4, but can they actually fight this with the stun onto that Aatrox? He goes for the World Ender just now. The Dominance still active. Daddy raining down Mr. shots left and right, but the steal will not be available. Chaz tried to jump in, tried to get the smite, but had to flash out. J-Team gets that Drake.
The MVP all throughout that small skirmish in that Braggin is that ward. That vision that was able to spot out Chaz, because J-Team knew that he was there, and they're being confident, and although Helios started it off so well alongside the Ryzen and getting that kill, it did not stop JT's members to get that 2-for-1 advantage. And again, the longer this team fight goes, the value of that ward just exemplifies. Okay. Alright, anyway. So that's another double objective to the side of J-Team at the first 5 minutes of this game, Jitan.
Yeah, they just have been really consistent with these double objectives starts in these matches, in these games. All 3 games, I think, they've had the double objective start. So good on J-Team for really prioritizing that, and they are going to extend their goal lead a little bit with Shelly charging down in the mid lane, taking that turret down. And yeah, Fennel now once again playing from behind.
Super good for J-Team, because whenever they're this Shen pickup, oftentimes its impact not going to be felt early, right? Although there is a stand United that can make him, rotate on, either side of the map. It's not as strong as the late game Shen, in where all those 2v1s can happen. By the way, DY.
Yes, DY once again is looking for a little bit more. He's always on front side of the fight, but J-Team are just taking every advantage they can. They're gapping Fennel from every point possible, taking every resource, even in the jungle.
This is what we were talking about, right? Oftentimes, a Kazakhs versus Shen, it's almost always going to the side of Kazakhs, especially during the early stages of the game, right? Better clear overall, better damage overall. But J-Team was able to, again, find other ways to win this game. First off, getting that massive first blood here in the bottom lane, and again, getting team fight wins altogether. Now, J-Team is going to get collapsed on here by the members of Fennel, but they are pretty much underleveled.
Yeah, underleveled, and they are still going to once again try to pick off SZY with 3 members, and then the showstopper. They will be successful there, at least giving that over to Spells, but that is a lot of resources and a lot of time invested onto just 1 kill. But now they are going to be going on to DY. Great catch by Horizon, but unfortunately will not convert into anything so far, as DY is a little bit too tanky. Still 4 members of them. They're going to get explosive cast. The aggression from J-Team, even when with the man disadvantage, cannot be understated. That can probably do a lot of damage, and Soldier is going to be coming into the fight, just pressuring the members of Fennel away from that tower.
Yeah, imagine that play, right? Fennel investing 4 people to get that pick on the top side, but it still ended up as a positive for J-Team. Fennel's tower got destroyed, and in return, to add insult onto the injury, J-Team was able to defend their own tower on the top side. Now, Soldier might get collapsed on.
Yeah, because he is the one that was left there. Unfortunately, the Sand United will stop any further aggression onto him. So that is a great start. Well, the great save, by his jungler, CF17.
Yeah, I feel that, had it been that he did not use the flash, he could have had a 2v4 moment right then and there, because you're seeing, all those members from Fennel. Yeah, sure, they're pretty much complete in attendance, but they're definitely gapped, right? Like, it's not just the gold that we're looking at, it's also the level. Level 9 Kazakhs, level 9 Ezreal as well, right? Like, all those levels, level advantage towards the side of J-Team is also equivalent to stats advantage, right, overall, and it's something that you still have to consider, especially in a Wild Rift game, which is very fast paced. If you are underleveled, surely it's not going to be a very good team fight overall.
Yeah, it is not going to be a great time if you don't have the resources in terms of levels, in terms of combat efficiency to fight it. So that does mean that J-Team, they have the onus here. They're going to start this Drake, and I don't think there's much that Fennel can do about it. CF17 is just soloing it, and the rest of J-Team are just zoning Fennel out from even attempting or dreaming of a steal, even with a Mystic Shot. Oh man, why would you jump in right there? Chaz is just going to get ganged up on with the taunt and taken out once again.
All throughout that entire fight, by the way, that's a very good mechanics from Horizon.
SCY, but the Sand United onto another side of the map, actually. He will at least get taken down, so SZY was the target there, but in exchange for a tower, I would say that's worth it for J-Team.
Super worth it, especially knowing that they are in the position to take another one here on the top side. Then again, I just want to emphasize one big point in that Dragon takedown by J-Team. All throughout the entire duration, in where, the attempt by Chaz to steal that objective, he was under vision, right? Like, this is so crazy that, whatever Fennel tries to do, they are pretty much covered by all the wards planted by J-Team ahead of time. And this is, one of the reasons why it's always a treat to watch CN teams, because this is one of the things to unpack when watching them. It's not just their micro, it's also their macro.
Yeah, that's something that I feel like a lot of CN teams have really put a lot of focus on is their macro play, and that's why, you know, the APAC teams who a lot of the time are really kind of micro focused a lot more, they kind of fall apart when it comes time to, you know, really play the map, like the CN conference teams do. So really have to give it to the CN teams for having that presence of mind, that really drilled in sense of macro.
Exactly. Unlike in League of Legends PC, where, you know, CN teams really wants Fiesta. Here in Wild Rift, they are very methodical to a point, you know, it's starting to become a little bit boring, I guess.
Yeah, but it still is going to be a very big pick here onto Arisen almost, as he has to flash out to get away from that. You're doing a lot of damage, and with the Sad United, he can stay inside, but not quite, because Danny does snipe him out. The Mystic Shot will at least get one kill there for Fennel, but that is not as big of a mistake as JT made in the earlier game.
Exactly. It's still something very surprising here and there. Fennel really knows their team fights, right? Like, especially at the later stages of the game. Now, Chaz.
Ooh, Chaz maybe going for a pick here. X1 getting taken down very low. Two-shot barrage, swinging a miss. But Chaz still is able to make his way over and get the assassination onto that one player. But he does sacrifice himself for it. The rest of them will be sacrificed for it too, because Danny does get taken out as SZY comes in from the side, and Spouts has to run away. Arisen, this may not be the best spot for you, as CF17 dashes through and just taps him a little bit to say, hey, get out of there.
Have they learned their lesson? Helios is still here. It's not the Zoe though, so it's the Zeri, but they will be spotted here. SZY is here to play guard. Baron's being started, half out onto it.
Yeah, but Chaz is nowhere to be seen. He still has to respawn.
There you go.
Arisen. Can he do it with all of it? Nope. He is going to get taken down. This might will not be stolen. Helios stuck inside the pit. Spelts, the last man standing, was not able to contest that. Oh, Trish Barrage onto nobody. It just fails to get the kill.
Not enough damage.
Not even for damage.
Exactly. And yeah, it was a bit of exciting because Helios had the proper thing in mind, right? But at this point, like, there's just no way that you will be able to seal this. It's about, you know, making use of the Baron debuff to its maximum potential in trying to shred them down. But Fennel, again, at that point, had the numbers disadvantage, and J-Team was quick to their feet. Securing that Baron for themselves may have just done it, especially knowing that they may just secure this dragon along the way. It will be the Infernal Soul once again, and it's going to be the second time I will be seeing the Infernal Soul visit us here today, G10. So yeah.
Oh god, Chaz just immediately got blown up there. X1 does a lot of damage. I was caught off guard there. He just disappeared so quickly, but you know, that is kind of what Kha'Zix does. Kind of a feast or famine champion. Right now, Chaz is in famine. 2 inhibitors down, looking for the third one here. CF17 on that top side turret will be able to take it down. Gets it out onto Spelts, and now they're going to aggressively. Aatrox has been defeated. Danny and Helios are going to be the alliance of defense here, along with Arisen. But look at that burst onto Danny. Immediately has to back away. We'll get explosive cast, and they're funneled into their fountain while the Nexus falls. J-Team win the match 2-1.
Yeah, it's a 2-1 victory to J-Team, which ultimately should at least give them a benefit in, you know, securing themselves a playoff possession. Not the best way to win it though. They wanted that +3, right, in game differential. But you know, win is a win, and for Fennel, it's going to be the last time that we'll be seeing them. It will be their last game, and we will be seeing them again next year. It was still very entertaining up until the end, right? Like,